How's it going, guys? Welcome to Audio Addiction. We have Zombieshark with us. He can say his name and what he does in the band.
I scream and yell into a microphone, and I rage type on a keyboard and mess around in FL Studio way too much.
Ooh, tell him. But obviously, I feel like I gotta give the biggest shout out to the homie Al. Love you, Al.
Oh, Al Bull is the greatest.
Al
Shout out to
Bull's
Sun Like Wolves.
Al Bull is the homie. I love that dude. But I don't really know too much about Corey, so obviously we're gonna have him on. He's gonna tell me what's going on and all that stuff. So the first question, Corey, is the easiest one. Is how did you start out Zombieshark, and how did you what made you want to start doing this? I feel like this is just your project. So what made you be like, let me get into FL Studio, let me hit him with it. Like, how did that all begin, pretty much?
Well, I kind of grew up out in the middle of nowhere and was just really, really, really bored. Yeah, just very, 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 very bored. And Alex, I had actually known since we were little babies in high school, and he was also very much into like mathcore and grindcore and like nintendocore stuff like that. And we used to be big fans of Horse the Band and I Am Error, Monomate and stuff like that. And he was into it, but very much into just pursuing full band stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I was also just a dork and loved anything that had Nintendo sounds and breakdowns over it. So yeah, I started doing it back in 2010. And yeah, it's been a really long minute, but it's funny because it's something that kind of started as a joke and just kind of was for fun, and then I just took the joke way too far.
And everybody's like, "Yo, is it still a joke?" And you're like, "Nah, fam, it's not a joke anymore." And they're like, "Oh shit, what's this?" They're gonna be. I mean, honestly, I'll give another shout out to Cody. Because he had posted a video of you doing your live thing, and I was like, what the hell is this? I love it because I love we were talking about it at the shout out to Body Snatcher too. We were talking about the Body Snatcher show, and I was just Al was putting me onto you, and I was just I gotta see what this dude's about. And then I remembered I had that epiphany moment that I was like, oh, I saw your thing with Cody that he posted a live thing. And I just didn't know what to do. My brain was I have not heard these sounds in so long that it went into kind of shutdown mode. And then I clicked back on and I'm like, yo, some band has to do this. And I'm glad that you're carrying the torch. But what made you kind of consider to do this as a solo project? As opposed to maybe a band or something like that. What made you I assume maybe have you been in bands prior to this and you're just band life ain't for me, I'm all about that solo, all about doing this shit myself.
Right. No, I mean honestly truthfully I really haven't I really never had a whole lot of experience being in an actual band and stuff like that. It's something that I always really wanted in high school and stuff. But a Sun Like Wolves with Al, he was they were the only band that was really doing any kind of metalcore stuff. It was really few and far between at my high school and stuff. And I don't know, I've always just sort of had a really weird writing process and stuff with Zombieshark and whatever, and I don't know. I had tried for a while to get more people involved in getting a full band together, but it always never took off or anything like that. The closest I ever really got to it was Jeff Brown from Ascent Like Wolves actually helps me write the digital scene, was really kind of setting my stuff up for full band play, but it not that Nintendo Core is cool now, nor that it ever was, but Jeff was not was really not about it. And I mean, we had fun. Like we would get drunk and like write like a lot of like those songs and stuff, but it was never like anything super serious like that. And it's like, I said it was like a joke, but it really kind of became like an extension of like, because I do like graphic design and stuff like that, so it was sort of like me like trying to hand it music and everything. And I don't know, I just kind of got fed up to the point where it's like, you know what, I can't find anybody that wants to do this. Like, fuck them. I'm just gonna do it. Like, I'm just gonna be up there like on stage by myself and playing the music that I want to hear live. So.
Well, I mean, I think it's like I said, I think it's super wild. Like some like really like weird shit in the best way possible. Like it is honestly like the most like eclectic shit I've heard in like a hot minute. And I remember telling you this at the show too. I was just like, if you feel like you've heard a band similar to this, you have not. Like it is really honestly like so bizarre, but at the same time I'm like it's so cool because it's so like complete like left of like what you would imagine things to be, which is awesome.
Thank you.
But how is the process like doing this sort of stuff live? Because I know that there's like obviously a ton of layering, a ton of like different effects. So how do you do all this stuff live? Because I imagine it's got to be fun to just be up there and like just be doing shit like on. I assume you have like a pad, like probably something similar to like. I don't know. Let me see if I can find it real quick without messing my microphone up. Oh, here we go. Like I assume you probably have something like similar to like this, like but just like all straight pads.
Yep.
So like how does that translate? Do you feel like you're like it's just you up there, so you're like one of those like EDM guys that are just like,
right? Yeah. I mean it's pretty much that. I mean I run everything through I have like my stems like running through like FL Studio.
Oof.
I know it's really ratchet. It's really on some classic 2009
that's
Nintendo
how you know
core.
That's how you know how you made your shit was on FL Studio. That's the true gold standard.
Dude, I am the truest cyber grinder out there, man. Like everything is on brand. I'm a very big person about brand and brand.
You are
quality
on brand. I'll
tell
you that much.
Staying true to that brand. I will never stray from my brand. But no, it's just like I have backtracks playing, and then recently, as in like the last like couple shows, I've started to incorporate like more hardware stuff into it. So now,
nice.
And since all my shows are pretty much canceled right now, it's been kind of a blessing because I finally had like time to work on my set and stuff, and I bought like a bunch of new like noise pedals and stuff like that. So there's gonna be a lot more because a lot of the main backtracks, at least for my older stuff, are pretty hard to like break down still and tweak yet. So most of the time it's just like straight tracks, and then I've got like vocal pads on my voice. But for the new shows going forward, it's gonna have like a lot more of like a harsh noise element and stuff, and a lot more like ambient soundscapey stuff in between.
It's gonna be aggressive. It's gonna be a wall sound. People are not prepared for this, I'm sure.
Not at all. Not that
they were prepared anyway, but now they're really not prepared. Like, I like I said, that whole video, I was literally like, I couldn't. It's like, to me, it reminds me a lot of like a 10-car pileup that like you can't look away from, but you but you're like you have to look at it. That's how I felt the entire set. Like I was watching Cody's video, and I don't want to keep referencing it, but honest to God, it was like a religious experience. It was very like awesome. So I know Corey's over here like, shut the fuck up, man. Just like another question.
No, dude, I'm so happy to hear that, man. Dude,
but it was so wild. Like again, the experience. Like I feel like a lot of people are just gonna be like, "Yo, he's just gassing him up," but I legitimately was just blown away. Like it's stuff that I have not heard in like easily decades. You know what I mean? And I've been doing this. I haven't been doing this for a long time, but I've been a fan of music for a very long time, and I feel like this was just so like again, so strange, but so cool at the same time. But the next thing, Corey, obviously, as you mentioned, the shows are kind of on a halt for now, but what are some favorite venues like in the area that you like to go catch shows at?
I mean, I always love like catching shows at Voltage Lounge, especially when they're like local like metalcore shows and stuff like that. Because there was like a pretty big shutdown like last summer of like some really awesome spots, and I think it's like really just like kind of hard to find like venues for like metalcore um, right now in Philly. But some of my older like favorite venues were there used to be this abandoned warehouse called Echo Base that I used to play at all the time with my friend Dave from Hallucinogenic Bulb, and that place was fucking crazy. It was like in the middle of this like packing facility thing, and it was like you had to know exactly where you were going to like play in this thing. It was so sick. They had like a massive show there, like I think it was like with Ground and Bandit,
Oh
and
my
they
god.
just destroyed it. It was crazy, and it was funny because I was playing a show there like the next day, and it was still like I remember like walking in there and like ceiling tiles and shit were like falling down and stuff. I was like, oh my god, and like right as soon as I showed up, like everyone was like, yeah, venue's permanently closed down. We literally found out like the day after it was fucked up.
Oh
Um,
man.
but yeah, there used to be some really cool spots in Philly. I'm waiting. One of my favorites too is Philomoka. It's like a
Ooh,
really
yeah.
really awesome spot, and I hope so bad that they can start getting shows there again because I miss going there so much.
Philomoka is great. I've only seen one show there, but I loved it. It was like the venue is like a
Oh
house, like
yeah,
pretty much. Like for the most, it kind
yeah,
of reminds me of like someone's home, but like has a stage in it. Like it's so
yeah,
cool.
yeah. It's got some like really awesome vibes. Like I used to go there like all the time when I was at UArts and shit, and like there was always so many good shows there.
Also like the sound's super good too. I think like
Yeah.
I think the sound's really awesome. I know we met at Voltage, so I got the shouts. Got to give it the shouts to Voltage because I always love going
Yeah.
there. But the next question, Corey, what was the last show that you attended that you didn't play?
Oh my God. It's honestly been like a hot minute. Oh my God. Um, shit. Honestly, yo, this is gonna sound really bad, but I think it was our Voltage Lounge show,
The Body Snatcher show,
for
yeah.
Body Snatcher one, yeah. That was seriously the last one I was at.
That was, I mean, seriously, people, that was such a great show. But
It really was. It was heavy as shit.
Corey was telling me that it was a Diet Body Snatcher that night. So
Oh God, yeah, no, no, you don't understand, dude. You don't understand. When Body Snatcher played FamFest, Jesus Christ, dude, like it was fucked up. That shit looked like a prison riot. Like there was like some dude like straight up like picked up a trash can and like threw it at the bartender.
oh
Like
my
like just
god,
picked it up, and then the same dude, I think, I don't know, somebody got knocked the fuck out. Like
yeah,
I
I'm
think it was
sure,
like the
yeah.
same guy, and like Body Snatcher only played for like maybe like 15 minutes, and they had to call the set. The fucking ambulances showed up and shit. I was so scared. I was scared they were gonna like shut all of FamFest down like for the weekend or something like that.
They could
And
have.
it's honestly, yo, it was fucking crazy. And like you saw like from like up in the balcony, like
Yeah, because
that area that was open
we're
up.
Weenie Hut Junior. That's
Weenie Hut Juniors. I'm not, dude. I don't want that.
I'm
to
too
be-
old, man. I can't. I
Wait,
can't be risking my body like that.
you're gonna get your body's gonna get snatched,
Oh,
dude.
I know it is. Yeah.
But
Somebody's
they
gonna
had
call
the
me the fuck out, and then I'm gonna have to go into a body snatcher pit, and then I'm gonna pray for God to save me from this shit.
there ain't no god at a body snatcher show. You already played
The,
yourself,
the
brother.
devil's out. The devil is out. He's living. He's living in that body snatcher pit. But
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I like you were saying, it was like we saw, like, we were up in the balcony, so it was like we were chilling, we were vibing.
Oh yeah. No, I was not about to get. I didn't want any of that drama down there.
Oh no, but there
Just
was
gonna
a there was a
observe.
there was a fight that broke out. So I mean, I feel like I got my fill. You know what I mean? That's
Well,
that's what I
it has to
wanted.
be,
I
yeah.
knew there was at least going to be one fight. Like I was guaranteed in my head. I was like, I'm not betting, man, but I was like, I can guarantee you there would be one fight at least that will break
Oh
out.
yeah.
And I was
Oh yeah.
honestly hoping for more because, I feel like pits, like especially hardcore pits, they're like
Mhm.
a hockey game. You know what I mean? You just see
Oh
people
yeah.
just throwing punches at each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to hold like the guy back, like, y'all fam, don't do
Oh.
it. And then the guy's like, "No, I'm gonna cut a bitch," like that's how it is. So I feel like that's the Philly love. Like if you come to Philly, that's the love you're
Oh
gonna
yeah.
get. You either
Oh
get the
yeah.
people that are just like, "I fucking hate your guts," but like you put on a killer set. You know what I mean? That's
Fuck yeah.
love. That's love.
Absolutely.
If I tell Corey that he fucking sucks, it's because I love him.
Dude, I need you to tell me that, dude. I need you to, dude, I'm open for critique, man. Like I want to be better, You're not going to get better if you don't know where the faults are,
That is true. That is true. But the next question is going to be an interesting one.
Oh Jesus.
Who
I'm
are you
scared.
influenced by? Who do you draw from? What is Zombieshark? Who are the people that you're like family? You have to listen to these people in order to get what I do.
I'd say like a lot. I mean, I try to make it at least now more than ever is like more obvious, like more of a celebration of like my influences and stuff, and a lot of the bands that really made me want to like start making the music that I do. But there was a band, I don't know if you're familiar with, called Gangastron.
I'm not. No.
Gangastron is a fucking amazing band. You gotta listen to their album Dead Mountain Mouth. It's seriously like it came out like in 2006. They were like this really cool like cyber grind band that like had done it right. Like they really like were like the peak of like that sound, and they're super underappreciated because they too were like super weird. It was like vocal, guitarist, keyboardist, and then like all MIDI drums, MIDI blast beats and stuff.
That's so crazy.
Dead Mountain Mouth, seriously, it is ridiculous how far in the future like those guys were. But I would say like Gangastron number one. Number two, like probably I listen to a lot more like electronica stuff like over metal. There's an artist named One O Tricks Point Never, Daniel Lopatin. He's the guy who actually did the soundtrack for Uncut Gems.
Oh,
and
sick.
And Good Time and stuff. I've followed his music for like 10 years, and it's crazy like how much like he's like blown up, and he's strictly just like this electronics like plunderphonicsy like kind of music. Really fucking incredible live shows, like some of the best like I've ever seen in my life, and his like sounds and textures are like super just super like interesting and like textured and just truly like a mind-breaking artist. And then like for like funsy stuff, for like the more metal side, definitely like Dr. Ocula.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
at least
that,
like
yeah.
two like completely whack influences, and then like Dr. Ocula. They're like a pretty heavy-handed influence too for a lot of like more like the metalcore aspects and stuff. But like bands like See You Next Tuesday and like Sky Eats Airplane.
Yeah.
Like a lot of like those bands like had incredible influence on me. Sky Eats Airplane's Everything Perfect on the Wrong Day, I seriously am like convinced is like a perfect album. Like it was so fucking sick because they were just a two-piece at the time. Like I think it was like Lee Duck doing like all the productions.
Yeah.
And I forget who the older vocalist was before Jerry. But I actually just recently, somebody sent me a link that there was like a demo, like pre-pro, like FL Studio, like MIDI demo version of Everything Perfect on the Wrong Day, and sent it to me. And like I have been listening to that way too much. Like, I mean, everything just it sounds like awful mix wise, but I'm just like my whole time my brain's just like, oh god, give me that shit, give me it.
Give it to me.
Any kind of like band that had like keyboards in it at all, honestly, it was just I've always been like super attracted to like keyboards and electronics and stuff like that, like even in high school and stuff.
Yeah, no, I feel like obviously we really hadn't talked about influences, but yeah, I remember talking.
I know I'm weird as shit, dude.
No. I was like, I know we were talking about it at the show, and I was just like, it's like Sky Eats Airplane. Like I did feel at the time I couldn't remember the name, but when you just said it now, Dr. Ocula, I was like, yeah, yes. I could hear that. And
God's favorite deathcore band.
God's favorite. Yes. Amen. But Yeah, no, I felt like a lot of those sorts of vibes. Obviously, like my genre sphere isn't in electronic, but like that was the vibe. So I was like I get the heavy aspect of it, but I was more curious to hear like the electronic aspect of it, because I was like, what is he pulling from? Like, I have no idea, and I was like, I need to get schooled on this. So I was like, let me ask him what he's like drawing from, and then I'll have to listen to it. And then I was just like, when you were just like electronicore bands, I was like, another band I was like thinking of was like Crossfaith. I know they're from Japan,
Oh yeah,
but
Crossfaith is awesome.
they're
They're so
awesome. And
fucking
I
sick.
I felt like obviously they're more like metalcore, but they incorporate a lot of electronic influence. And I was just like,
Yeah.
yeah, that was another band I was like thinking of. I was like, yeah, he pulls a little Crossfaith. I don't know if he'll admit to that it being an influence, but I was like I can hear it. So I was more curious to see how you were gonna answer it, basically.
Yeah, yeah. Crossfaith is definitely like very much up there. A lot of their like older stuff were like a lot with like a lot more uh synth heavy breakdown,
Mm.
obnoxious like kind of stuff. I will eat dubstep wobbles over breakdowns until the sun comes up. Like, give me it,
Give me it. And
give
then
me the wobbles.
the next question, Corey, is a fun one,
Yes.
kind of in the same vein as influences. Who have you been jamming recently? Who's on your
Yes.
Spotify? Also, your video disappeared. Oh, here we go. We're back.
Oh, hi, sorry. Yeah, recently I have been listening to, I'm looking it up right now. I've been listening to the new The Weekend album. Actually,
Oh, okay.
I have been loving After Hours, and also too, One Tricks Point Never, produced a handful of the songs off of the new Weekend album,
Oh,
and
sick.
yeah, so Until I Bleed Out is like a fucking perfect song. Um, I've been listening to Machine Girl too. I don't know if you're familiar
Ooh,
with
yeah,
them. I'm
Machine
actually
Girl.
wearing a Machine Girl shirt
Ooh.
right now. Machine Girl, I've been listening to Reflections Willow, Fearmonger by Beneath the Massacre, and I
Oof.
Let It In, and It Took Everything by Loathe. And then obviously just going back into like old Deftones too as well, just to sprinkle it on there.
I know, because you're listening to Loathe, and I feel like those are the
I just want
vibes,
to
you
listen to
know?
Deftones.
Honestly, if Deftones and Lowe's did a tour together, I would die a happy man. I feel like.
So it needs to happen. They absolutely need to play together. I would die.
I feel like it will happen. I feel like it's almost a guarantee it will happen.
Oh yeah.
But and the next thing, Corey, another fun one. I'm very curious how you're gonna answer this one. If you could
Hmm.
pick a song to cover, what would it be?
Oh, I've had it planned forever. I just need to convince my friend Sam to help me put it together. But I have been like dying, literally dying to do a cover of "Life Hurts" by I Set My Fire.
Oof.
That is a criminally underrated Ism Foff song. Um, I was on honestly like a lot of like Astral Rejection. Like I know a lot of people were like hype um, about the pre-pro version they put out and stuff. And a lot of those songs were like good, but there's a lot of like really underappreciated writing on Astral Rejection. Like a lot of the synth work and electronics in there. It's a shame that it's so buried in the mix. Like sometimes I listen back to it and just like wish so bad I could have been. Wish so bad I just wrote that album.
And that the mix was better. That's what.
But no, like life hurts. Like honestly, like I I really want to do that. Either that or cover like a Doctor Ocular one too would be fucking.
Oof. I feel like those are two I can get behind. I feel like for you, for like the I set my friends on fire, you just turn everything down except for the synth and just blast that shit, and then there you go, magic. It would be the completely different record. But if you have any suggestions for Zombieshark, leave them in the comments below. I'm
Yeah.
sure he'll take a look and see what's popping. I would love to see like a weekend track. I feel like you could. That would be pretty hype.
I was thinking about that too. After once I heard Until I Bleed Out, like fuck, dude, like that's definitely gonna be the vibe. I'm just gonna go from like cybergrind to like full on like R&B, dark R&B.
It'd be quite the transition, you know. I feel like a lot of people can't shoot that gap, but I feel like you could do it, you know.
I want to be the weekend of cybergrind.
That would be a very eclectic mix of music. I don't know if the weekend would be happy or sad if that was if he was like in an interview and he's just like, you were like, oh yeah, the weekend, such a big influence. He'd be like, I don't know, man, I don't hear it. I really, it got lost in the blast beats and
songs, dude.
But anyway, next question, Corey, another fun one. Favorite food to eat? What's the go-to?
Oh, favorite food. Mostly like Mexican food, probably. Like, there's like this really awesome place like right around the corner from me called Taco Delphia, and they just have like they're open like mad late too. Like they're fucking great, and I eat there like probably like 2-3 times out of the week. For being honest, their burritos are to fucking die for.
Shout out to Taco Delphia. I don't know where you're at, but I'd love to.
It's right on Broad Street. I'm drawing a blank right now, but it's on Broad Street, right next to South Street.
Oof. But, hit him. Taco Delphia, sponsor my boy Corey out here. That's the real vibes.
First.
Next question, Corey. If you could pick somebody to collaborate with, whether it be a guest spot on your next record or a producer you'd like to work with, who would it be?
Honestly, it would be like a high school dream of mine to work with, like either Dr. Acula, like getting like a Dr. Acula feature, or possibly, and I Set My Friends on Fire feature too would also be like big goals. As far as producers and stuff, if I ever had enough money, I'd love to work with like Carson and Grant, Slowback. Oh my god, I'm drawing a blank on their studio.
Atrium Audio.
Yeah, I would love to like bring one of my songs to them and just because I've like been like a little bit like many years ago and stuff, and we seem to get along and share the same crazy ideology for whatever the fuck core. So I think if I had a budget for it and the time, I would love to spend a week with them and just create some ungodly, insane melting shit.
That would be awesome. I would love that. With their mix. Oh man, mix and master, dude. That'd be beef, straight beef.
Absolutely.
You'd be taking on Arby's with that shit, dude. Holy fuck, that'd be thick. With like 5 C's, I'd be like, it would blow me back in my chair. Like I would probably go blasting through my back wall here in my room. You know, I would be straight murdered. You know, my ears blown off, 100%.
Baby.
But next question, Corey, you do an interesting thing with the FL Studio, and I don't know if you play any instruments, but if there's one you could master, what would it be?
Playing the guitar, honestly. Like, guitar has always been like the bane of my existence. Like fluently, like insanely technical, like Beneath the Massacre levels of playing. Like, I'm just shredding, just 10 trillion notes at like 500 BPM. Like, that's all I want.
I feel that, dude. You know, I feel like that's the vibe. I feel like if you're a guitar player, you just gotta like go for like next level. You know what I mean? It's just gotta be like off the wall crazy.
Oh well, I mean, it's funny because like on the new album, so like I can't like really play like guitar that well at all. So, I kind of interpret like the guitar process like when I'm and I took it to my friend Sam, who helped me like produce the album and stuff like that. And it's funny because like Hell World is actually one of the more like mild songs, and there isn't like one song on the album that isn't under like 210 to like PM. So we did like a lot of like really cursed shit on this recording process, where we were like recording things in like halftime and then like speeding them up and then cropping them and like chopping them and
Oh
like
my god.
recording notes and like stretching them and like doing like all sorts of like really awful things to the guitar.
Oh my god. I do feel that. Like when I listened to Hell World, I was just like, I feel like this is just like, I feel like we're like, if this was like the iceberg, we're like underneath the iceberg but like a little bit, and there's just so much further to go than this. So I'm very excited to hear. You sent me another track and I was just like,
Secret track.
what? I was like, what the hell is going on? After you said it to me, I was like, what is, like, this is such an insane jump from like Hell World that I was just like, I don't even know. Like, I just don't. Like, I literally took my headphones and did this. I just went like this. I just don't. I don't get it. I don't know what's going on. I should come back and listen to this again when I have like when my brain is finally done spinning in my fucking head, you know? I was like,
Be so happy to hear it. It's funny, the whole album is just one. If you can sit through the whole thing, it's only there's
which I'm gonna have to, because I'm gonna have to review this shit, because I know you're gonna send it to me, and I'll give you a little behind the scenes, people. I'll listen to a record, like for example, I at the current time of this recording, I did the newest August Burns Red record, which by the way, check out if you haven't. Good shit. But I listened to that record like 20 times. So if I'm gonna have to listen to Hell World like 20 times, I think you're gonna find my like dead corpse in my apartment, and I'm just gonna be like, I tried guys, I tried really hard, I just
after my friend Sam, when we were finally getting like towards the end. I mean, we still have just like a little slightly more, just a couple more slight mixes we got to make to it yet. But like through the meat of it, like I thought Sam was gonna die. Like, he worked on like masters for this thing for like 3 days straight. And I saw him, and he was like white as a ghost. Like he just didn't say anything. Like he was just like he was just like, I just want to listen to nothing. Like just to hear nothing and quiet. The whole thing is like a 20. Well, there's 12 songs going to be, and it's only 20 minutes long. And if you can sit through the entire duration of the 20 minutes, the worst anxiety panic attack you'll ever have in your life, I think. I sometimes I have to like listen to it like all the way through, and by the end of it, I'm just kind of like
oh boy, I got my work cut out for me. I feel like I'm gonna be watching this and I'm gonna have an anxiety attack, and then when you send me the record, then I'm gonna have even more of an anxiety attack. So very stoked for new Zombieshark. Obviously, it will not deter me from listening to it, but I probably will not put myself through the insanity of listening to it 20 times.
I do not blame you. I wouldn't want you to do that.
It might happen. You know, you might see the true nature of Brandon come out in that review. But but the next question, Corey, a personal favorite of mine, because I'm a big boy nerd. You know, big boy nerd, and I had to ask you this question: if you could be a video game character, who would you be?
Damn, yo. I could be a video game character.
This is a thick question. I feel the vibes, you know. You're gonna hit me with a good answer. I can feel it. I can feel it in my gut, you know.
So I just recently, in the last like three to 4 weeks here, just finished Death Stranding.
Oof.
And I had about like 200 some hours logged in. I felt such a deep and personal connection to Norman Reedus by the end of that. Like I felt like I was him. I Hideo Kojima like fucking fucked me up. He set out with a goal to be like, yo, like you're not gonna play as Norman Reedus, you're gonna be Norman Reedus, and he fucking meant it. I just remember like in that game and just being like, God, I wish that were me.
I don't feel like that's what you. I really feel like that's not what you wanted.
I'd say that or
That's what I thought. You were gonna give me a second answer because I know it can't be Death Stranding. That shit's too. I mean, obviously it would play into your brand, so I respect that. But
I'd say it either goes Norman Reedus from Death Stranding or Doom Guy. Honestly.
Wow, we are really. We are. I should have expected this just because just Hell World, but it still doesn't shock me. So I feel like I have to show a little emotional shock.
Your pick. Who would you be?
Oh, okay. Well, keeping with the semblance of the many times I've been, well, not many times, the few times I've been asked this, I have to still go with I believe his name is Brendan from Pokemon Gold and Silver.
Oh, nice.
That's classic.
A Pokemon game would probably be mad chill. Like, kind of not thinking it through. Yeah, both like.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, he literally picked. I was like, the only thing he could probably pick that was worse was either like The Last of Us or like a Resident Evil game. Like those would be like. Or like or like some sort of like whack horror game that you would just be like, I'm fucked.
James Sunderland from like fucking Silent Hill 2.
Oh my god,
that's another one of my favorites.
I don't like. I see. That's what I'm saying. Those are the vibes. And you know what? It's funny because Hideo Kojima, like, I saw a Hard Times like posting about it, and he's just like, they're like opinion. They're like next Hideo Kojima game, should just be like him thinking about happy thoughts and being like creating like the happiest game on the face of the earth. You know what I mean? He's created so many fucked up masterpieces that he's just like, you know what? I'm gonna create like, the next Yoshi story or some shit. You know what I mean? Like he's gotta create something happy. That man knows zero about happiness. I feel like, you know what I mean? Like, he knows no happiness. I'm sorry, Kojima. I love your stuff. But you need some happiness in life, man. Do some yoga or like something, man. There's gotta be something better out there for you.
That is shit.
But the next question, Corey, another fun one, music related. If you could compile a dream tour, who would be on the lineup?
Oh,
obviously
God.
You're on it. I feel it's gonna be whack as fuck, but I'm so excited to hear it.
Oh God, dream tour instantly. It would just be like all the fucking bangers, dude. Like fucking Arsonist Get All the Girls.
Oof.
Dr. Ocula, Heavy Lolo, Duck Duck Goose, Before the March Flames. Maybe like Blade or Young Lean too. That'd be fucking fair. Yeah, I would kill to like play with like any of those bands. Definitely like Machine Girl on there too. If I was making like the most cursed festival of all time. And of course probably get all my homies too on it. Like get Sleep Sculptor on it. Get Item, Blind Equation, Portals, all the homies.
Oh my god, that is a very cursed. Ooh man, I don't even know how to answer that. I'm just again, this whole interview I've been shocked, but by far that was the most that was the wildest answer I think you've given to date.
And Lil Uzi Vert.
Oh man, well I mean he likes the heavy shit, so I gotta vibe. I would give him the respect, I feel like that's a bop fest. I feel like Zombieshark the Fest coming to you in 2021.
Shark Weekend.
Sharknado.
Sharknado.
That's because that's what it's gonna feel like. It's gonna be a fucking shark tornado shit. But anyway, next question, Corey. In your opinion, who puts on a great live performance?
Oh, Machine Girl, hands down.
Oofy.
Machine Girl, like I never miss a show from them ever. Every time I've seen them, it has been more crazier than the last. Um, I know they were supposed to like go on tour with Code Orange and like Jesus Piece, and then
Ugh.
that shit that would have been fucking amazing. If you can catch Machine Girl, like definitely see them in like a really intimate setting because that band goes the fuck off like harder than any. It's the most energy I've like ever like seen at a live show. I would say that and One of Tricks Point Never too.
Ooh.
The few times that I saw One of Tricks, I still think to this day like changed my life and my entire perception on like electronic music and like what electronic music could be and you know that dude is just like a true artist in every way so like I would between those two and you probably have a way higher chance of like catching Machine Girl. I would not miss them.
There we go. Next question.
Put on a fucking insane live show too. I managed to get to see him once and that too was just like
Who was it, Corey?
Ghosty Mane.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah.
That was crazy.
There we go. Next question, Corey. Favorite TV show, favorite movie?
TV show. I'm honestly like not like a huge like TV person. Like as far as like shows go, like Netflix series stuff. I'm super into Ghost Adventures.
Oh, okay.
Love Ghost Adventures. I can watch that shit like nonstop, like reruns and everything. Movie wise, I'd say for like older movies like the Alien franchise. I gotta count like the entire thing from start to end. I'm a huge like I'm like super into like alien lore and like xenomorph lore and like Ridley Scott and stuff. I'd say that, and as far as newer movies, Uncut Gems was
Ooh.
really, and like I'm never the one to like just take like newer movies and just be like this is it, but that movie is it.
Awesome. Next question, Corey. If you were trapped on a desert island for the next month and there was one record you could bring with you, what would it be?
It would be George Clinton, his album Slide. I don't know if you've ever heard of listen to him at all.
No, I have not.
Like vaporwave with like new wave elements and kind of like a 90s like shoegaze feel to him. I would definitely recommend Slide. I kind of didn't think that was going to be my favorite album either until semi recently. Probably since that album came out like 2 years ago, like that has been like my go-to album like every time.
There we go. And then the last thing, Corey, the most important thing, tell them about Zombieshark, where they can find you out in the social media and anything coming up within the relative future.
Yeah. Zombieshark is just a project that I'm like extremely passionate about. It's really like all memes and like joking aside, like it's really been awesome. Like seeing the reception of like the new songs and stuff, and I've been working on like music stuff for probably like almost 10 years now, and like it was really something that I never thought like anybody would ever actually care about or think is worth anything, so it's a big deal to me. And this new album, my new album is called I Will Destroy You, Myself, and Everything I've Ever Loved. It's the craziest 20 minutes you'll ever hear in your life. It's coming out hopefully towards the end of May, I think. I've got a new single, the one I sent you, Computer Kids Unite. Surprise, surprise, going to be dropping that on April 24th. And yeah, hopefully if all the Corona stuff can go away before the summer, I'm planning a couple weekender tours with my friend Dave from Hallucinogenic Bulb. Also an amazing artist worth checking out. And yeah, if you like it, thank you. If not, I'm glad I could for a little bit. Glad I gave you a little bit of a headache.
Oh man, that's awesome. But go check out Zombieshark. I know I've been gassing him up this entire interview, but honestly, it is so weird and refreshing at the same time. And like, I know it sounds like really bad for me to say it's weird, but like, it's weird in the best way you can imagine. Like, it is so like off the cuff shit, like really just very, very like eclectic. And like I said, I was very sick to get Corey on. Like we talked, and like I said, I had saw that thing that Cody like posted, and I was just like, I just need to know what this dude's about. Like, this is so extra that I was just like, I have to see what this dude's like, what this dude's on, like, who does he draw from and all that stuff, because I feel like it is so like eclectic that I feel like most people either like, I feel like you'll have a strong opinion whether or not you love it or you hate it, and I'm just like, this is so strange that I think I love it. You know what I mean? I've grown to love it. I can't tell you, this is like pre 20 listens of like the full record. So me right now vibing right now, but maybe 20 listens I might not be vibing because I'll be dead. But I really honestly truly I think Corey is definitely onto something that I don't particularly cover a lot of. So it's very cool to have him on and do, speak the knowledge on the channel. So go check out Corey's stuff.
I would really appreciate this, dude. I'm so it really does make me like so happy that you dig it and like it so much and everything. Like I'm like pretty much streaming on everywhere. Bandcamp, SoundCloud, Spotify. I also just made a MySpace page too.
No, you did not. Oh my god.
We were working on this while we were talking.
That is awesome. Oh my god.
On this. Add me on MySpace. I'm gonna be. I'll be posting on here a lot probably now. Literally, no one's gonna be.
Well, if you're on MySpace, go hit up Corey and go check out his website. And go check out Hell World. That's out now. The new single will also be out by the time this interview goes out too. So go listen to that as well. If you enjoyed this interview, make sure to share it, like it, subscribe. It goes a long way. Go tweet at Grant at Atrium, Grant and Carson, so we can make that shit happen, because that'd be whack. It'd be so whack, but it would be next level. So I feel like I'm giving the cosign right now. I don't have a lot of clout, but I'll give him the cosign. And seriously, go check out Corey's stuff. All the links are below, where you can go check out his music, where you can go pre-order the record, where you can go do all that other good stuff. Follow him on social media. The dude's doing it. So I gotta give him the props, because your boy, we out here repping. The solo artists here, the people that working it out during this coronavirus time. So I gotta give him the love.
Coronavirus, it's on site.
But go check out Corey's stuff, and thanks of course to Corey of Zombieshark for coming on tonight.
Thank you so much for having me, dude. I really appreciate this.